This should be played at high volume, preferably in a residential area.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
1, 2, 3.
Lovely. Okay, good evening, everyone. We've made it. We're late, but we're here. This is the Maastricht edition live on Facebook. Stay tuned for more fun this evening.
Yeah. Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Maastricht edition. Here we are at last. Oh my goodness, we are so sorry. We had a major technical issue, should we say?
Major, yes. I'm saying nothing. This is why I don't use Facebook, I tell you. But we're
here at last. Although we are down one, of course, because our lovely Matt is not with us this evening, and he's probably watching from elsewhere, going, "Where are you guys? Where are you?" But we're here. We're here, and thank you to Feardavs, our tech guru, for actually getting us on screen eventually. So, well, yes, we missed about a third of the show.
Yeah, it's time for news already, it seems. We've no time for anything. Goodness me.
It's such a shame. But we do have still got lots coming up anyway. Deniz from the Maastrichter website, maastrichter.com, he will be joining us, very shortly, actually. To be telling us about all the exciting events that are coming up around the city as things are starting to reopen now, and all the postponed festivals and events that were happening last year that are supposed to be happening this year maybe got postponed again and again, but now they are actually happening. Yes. People are going out and enjoying places. So, but Tracey, how are you?
Well, I'm fine. Yes, better now that we're live on air, actually. So, so good to see everybody, and happy Take Your Dog to Work Day to everybody.
It is. What a bizarre. We come across all that. Look at that. What a cutie. We come across these bizarre awareness days. Oh yes.
He's got a little. Sorry.
The tail you're showing us. Okay.
His little tail. You see, and he's got a little kind of bandana thing as well. He's a very fancy little pooch, you see. But yes, it is a bit of a random holiday, but all the same, very nice to know if you're in the office that you could take your dog to work today.
Yes, it would be nice to know people out there. Do you take your dog to work? I know somebody actually who takes her dog to work on a regular basis, and that'll be Petra from Euler. She's got an old English sheepdog that she takes to work, and you can go and give him a hug on a regular basis if you want to. But if you're in an office, or maybe you have to take your dog because this is a service dog maybe, and you're used to having around you all the time, but we'd love to hear from you if you are taking your dog to work on a regular basis. Now, Tracey, you of course are a pussycat person because you've got little tubs.
It's not truly the case. I'm actually a dog and a cat person, but we just happen to have a cat for the time being. So there are dogs planned in the future, but we probably need to move house first. But okay. But yes, we do have our darling fur baby, Little Tubbs. Check him out on Instagram. Little Tubbs. Beg your pardon? Will I take Tubbs to work? No, he doesn't really like other people. He loves us.
Okay.
And he doesn't mind his vet, but he's quite a shy little pussycat actually, and he does tend to get a bit anxious if kind of other persons are in the neighborhood. So we tend to keep his trips in the car or anything to a minimum. Usually if he's going to the vet or going to the cat hotel or going to stay with Tinny for a night or something like that. But he's a sweetheart and we love him. 11 years old, bless him.
Wow. Yes. And how many followers does he have on Instagram?
Oh, not that many. He's got about, I don't know, 1,100 or so. So not too bad. Yes. Yes. It's the tuxedo cat. You know, they're suave and sophisticated. Yes.
I'm very impressed how well he uses a keyboard, actually, or a mobile phone. That's very good.
It's really impressive, and he does his weekly blog all by himself. I mean, he's quite the special kitty, actually. Yes.
So as we mentioned earlier, Matt isn't with us this evening.
No.
Unfortunately, he has another engagement, and he will be back with us again next week, of course. But
Yes.
He has sent us a little video, which will probably play in the second half of the show, because as Tracey said, we've got the news coming up very shortly. So
to tie in with our theme, we're chasing our tails.
we certainly are. Yes, we certainly are. So all the good stuff that we usually have in the first half, we'll try and pack it into the second half if possible, which includes Matt's review. So he has sent us a video along of his review of the album that Tracey picked last week. Oh, there it is, Mr. Rory Gallagher himself. So we'll be hearing what Matt has to say about that and getting the scores on the doors of how many Matts out of 10 Matt has given it. And I would say that this day in history is going to be a little bit delayed as well, but we'll squeeze that in sometime between now and 8 o'clock for sure. But get those pictures sent in. We're looking for those who have doggies. Send us your pictures of your pooches. And if there's anybody out there who does take their dog for a day in the office, we would love to hear from you. That would be great.
I would love to work in the office.
Well, yeah. Do you know what? We did a post earlier of a little dog. We did a shout out saying, "It is take your dog to work and let's get some pictures in." And I found this adorable little picture of, I think it might be a Jack Russell actually, with glasses on, apparently working away at a PC. I have to say, because I'm a huge Disney fan, well, I was raised on Disney for many, many years, I thought actually this was quite normal for dogs to be doing these kind of things, all kind of animals that you could chat with them and have full-on conversations with them. And when I went out into the real world, I was bitterly disappointed.
I know. Yes, indeed. You have to listen very carefully to hear what the doggies say, and if you're not in Disney World. But they will tell you stuff.
So I think anyway, we're coming up to 7:30.
Yeah.
Do you think you're ready, Tracey?
Well, it's a bit of a bizarre show, but I'm ready to go. I'll read very fast.
Let's. We'll be absolutely. Yeah. Take your time. What the hell? Maybe we'll extend the show a little bit. Tracey Taylor with the news.
Thank you, Joe, and good evening, everyone. It's June 24th, and you're watching the Maastricht edition on Facebook Live. Finally. First, a look at your weekend weather, and some localized rain showers are expected to fall in Limburg tonight, but Friday through Sunday is expected to stay largely dry and bright, with temperatures in the mid to high 20s. There is still a possibility of thunderstorms at times, however. Moving to your news bulletin for tonight, and following a press conference last week, it seems that most of the coronavirus measures in the Netherlands will be reduced or eliminated starting as of Saturday, June 26. The wearing of face masks in indoor public spaces will be dropped, with the exception of public transport, in airports, and at locations where a distance of 1.5 meters cannot be kept. Any remaining coronavirus restrictions may be scrapped in mid-August. German Chancellor Angela Merkel has warned that Europe is on thin ice as the Delta variant of COVID spreads across the continent. Her warning came as European Union health officials said that the variant would account for 90% of EU cases by late August. Dutch Prime Minister Mark Rutte has said he would like to see Hungary expelled from the European Union if it continues to go against EU values. Hungary's parliament has passed a law banning the promotion of homosexuality to minors in what critics have called a crackdown on LGBTQ rights. The law is the latest in a series of measures under right-wing Prime Minister Viktor Orban's government. In other news, Belgian authorities have detained an elderly man reportedly aged 99 on suspicion of killing a fellow resident of the retirement home where they lived. The last known case of a murder in a retirement home in Belgium dates back to the 1990s. Moving to local news, at Maastricht, Eindhoven, Groningen and Rotterdam airports are set to participate in a trial of electric flying called Power Up. Within 5 years, the airports want to contribute to the development of the concept, the right fuel, commercial partners and travel routes so that the first passenger flights can depart from the Netherlands. And it seems the number of people in Limburg who are 100 years or older is increasing. At the beginning of this year, there were 158 centenarians in Limburg. At the beginning of 2020, there were just 127. And finally tonight, Maastricht University may once again call itself the 6th best young university in the world. The UM has been awarded this rating by the Times Higher Education Young Universities ranking. The prestigious magazine ranks 200 international universities aged 50 years or under, according to performance indicators like teaching, research, citations, and international outlook. And that's it for tonight. For more local news, you can follow RTB News in English on Facebook and Instagram. If you are a local business, be sure to check out the Support Your Local Business South Limburg Facebook page, a joint initiative between #Maastricht and the Maastricht edition. And if you want to discover events, concerts, and cultural activities going on in Maastricht and the surrounding areas, head on over to the website of our partner, Maastrichter.com, to check out their awesome calendar of events. And don't forget that you can always find us on the Maastricht Edition Facebook page, on our YouTube channel, on Redbubble, and on Instagram. For all the details, check out the maastrichtedition.nl.
Oh, nicely done, Tracey.
Thank you, darling.
Nice and quick.
I know. It's the speediest news broadcast ever. But good. We are nothing but professional, Joe. Look how we adapt, huh?
Absolutely. Well done indeed. And you got all the important stuff in there, straight through. Love it. And Jessica's in the house. She says good to see us. She can't actually listen to us because she's at work at the moment. So she's watching us instead, which is lovely.
I wonder if she has her dog with her.
Ah, yeah. And Jessica, do you have a dog? There's no point in asking her. She can't hear us. But anybody have a dog?
Oh, look at my doggy mug. Isn't this adorable?
Oh, that's very cute.
And there's
yes, that's very cute.
I know. I thought, oh, I'm just going out of camera there.
See,
there you go.
Right. See, a dog with a bone. See, now, I don't have, as everybody knows, I don't have a dog, I have goats. And I hunted high and low trying to find something with, which was doggified. All I've got is this bone.
Considering your arm is in a sling, dear, I think you did very well. I mean, you are a wonderful painter, so actually I'm not surprised you were able to.
Thank you very much. Yes, I had to do it with my left hand. Oh yeah, just quickly, I would like to say a huge thank you to all the well-wishers that have been sending a message to me this week. It's very, very kind of you. Yes, I'm still in a sling, but I'm going to be a bit tied up for the next few weeks. But yes, I'm practicing my drawing with my left hand. I could do a bone. Who knew?
You need to start somewhere, dear. You know, and it's a mighty good bone.
Thank you very much. I'm sure she's probably said that to somebody else before, but there you go.
Lord.
Now,
kind of show, Joe.
I do know that Tracey has been practicing her Turkish, which is very useful because our guest that's coming up, Deniz, is from Turkey. He is the owner of Maastrichter.com. He's going to be joining us now to give us an update on how the website is going. And here he is. Hello, Deniz.
Yes.
Hello, good evening.
Hello, lovely for you to join us. We thought for a moment there we weren't going to get you because we thought there wasn't going to be a show, but
we made it.
Are.
It's like the power of Grayskull by the power of fear dance. That's our new slogan. T-shirt, Joe. T-shirt.
Yes, absolutely. The power of fear dance. Write that one down. But yes, this is the joys of doing this online. Hopefully it won't be long before we're all back in the studio again, and we will have Deniz with us again in the studio at some point, I dare say. But this isn't your first time on the show, Deniz, but maybe you can introduce yourself to those who've never met you before.
Yeah, indeed. I'm one of the regulars, I think, and I really appreciate it. I miss you guys if you don't invite me sometimes. So yeah,
that's very sweet, very sweet. But as we said, you're originally from Turkey.
Yes, indeed. I'm originally from Turkey, and I've been living in Maastricht almost for 9 years. And I'm head of an expat club called Internations for the last, I think, 7-8 years. So we are organizing some networking events for expats, to meet with fellow expats and get to know the city, the surroundings. And also recently, I think that's also one of the topics we are going to talk today. I started this webpage called Maastrichter.com to combine all the cultural events, happenings in the surroundings in one platform.
Yeah, but unfortunately, when you started Maastrichter.com, it literally was sort of like within a couple of weeks, a pandemic came along.
Indeed.
Yeah, I mean, what are the odds? It's very unfortunate, but you guys you've powered through. You've been there the whole time, and recently, every so often, little things are opening up again, which is thank God, praise be. Yes,
Yeah, well, there was a few online events going on as well that you were promoting, of course, during this. So I think that's been quite useful for you.
Yeah, exactly. We were putting the online events, but like, for example, this is nice, but people are not so keen to watch an online concert. We were putting lots of online events, but I mean, they were not so attractive, let's say.
Yeah, it's a tough one because we've all embraced technology even more in the last year and a half with Zoom calls and everything else. But I can imagine that some people are not as open to an hour watching a live stream concert or something like that. But then again, needs must, I suppose. For many people, it was at least something.
Yes, exactly. It was better than nothing, indeed.
Yeah.
But it was like, it's also not my cup of tea, like we are already looking to the screen the whole day with the meetings and stuff. And you're socializing, watching concerts is also like looking to the screen or to the TV. Of course, it's not ideal. It's better than nothing. But I'm very glad the events started again. So
especially with the weather as well, because of course, if it's beautiful weather outside, you don't want to be stuck looking at a screen. So maybe you could give our viewers some idea of what to expect when they come on to Maastricht. It's a calendar. It has all kinds of events, but it's not just Maastricht, is it?
Yeah, indeed. The name of the website is Maastrichter, but we are actually covering the events like happening in like Maastricht and surroundings, let's say 50 kilometers, including Liège and Aachen. And the events in Liège are also starting, and we have a very nice partner from Liège, and they're also very active. They're also organizing their own events. And so like we are also trying to make Liège and Maastricht closer culturally and socially. So we were already planning something last year, but due to Corona, we were not able to execute them. Yeah. But hopefully, starting from September, we will start again.
Now, the sort of events that you've got on your calendar, we're not talking about the little local church fete. We're talking big events as well, that you would maybe go to a big concert or an expo at MEC or something like that. So maybe you could give us an idea of the range of events we're talking about.
Yeah, actually, we are trying to cover almost all the events happening in Maastricht. But also, like, for example, like if a big celebrity is coming to Antwerp or Amsterdam, we are also putting those events. And actually, like when we started, there were still some concerts planned in September, like Dua Lipa was coming, Elton John was coming in Antwerp, in Amsterdam. We also put those events. Yep. And so like one can expect like things happening in our surrounding, but also some very big events in Amsterdam or Düsseldorf, Köln, Brussels.
Yeah, but it's great to promote these because you might think, Düsseldorf, but it's really only an hour away. So these are places that you can absolutely get to. So it's absolutely worthwhile. And if there's a big event in Amsterdam, I'm thinking weekend away. So you just kind of plan and go.
Exactly. Exactly.
So it's absolutely worthwhile because as you've said before, we're in such a privileged position where we're located geographically that you really have access to almost every little part really within an hour's drive.
Do you know? I think people forget as well places like in Heerlen, where they have a theatre there, and actually the Music Gatorade here in Maastricht. They do have some big names there, actually. Now, okay, they may not be sort of your Dua Lipas of this world, for example, who are in the top 10 every 5 minutes. But if you actually have a look, I mean, we're talking some artists that were maybe big in the 80s and 90s who are still going. They're maybe not producing the hits or anything, but you're still going to get a really, really good night. I've been to Heerlen, and so I'm going to be showing my age a little bit here.
Oh.
But I saw level 42 there a couple of years ago. They're regulars that come over here, actually. And I tell you what, it's a stonking good night.
Really? Are they still going? My goodness.
Yes. For sure. And these are artists that, you think, oh, I don't really know them. And then you end up singing every single song when you go to the concert, So, the places like Heerlen and the Music Gateway, they do have some big names there, don't they?
Yeah, indeed.
For sure.
Lots of stuff.
Indeed, like cultural concert-wise, Heerlen is, I think, equivalent to Maastricht. The Kulturhaus, Heerlen, Parkstad, Limburg theaters, lots of concerts, activities are happening. I think in terms of number, even more events than Maastricht, I will say.
Oh, yeah. I know we often think Maastricht has the monopoly on everything, but sometimes there are lots of events in Sittard and Heerlen as well,
I may mention a particular violinist.
Oh, well, yes. Well, he did. Well, apart from the lovely Andre, who has yet to come on the show, but still, we keep
trying to get him on. Of course, that's probably one of the biggest events that we have here in Maastricht every summer.
Yeah, that's true. Although I am not sure, Dennis, do you know if it's going ahead this year, the Andre Rieu concerts? I guess not.
Yeah, actually, in Maastrichter team, we have two members working for Andre Rieu. And actually, I was just talking with one of them, and they are hoping to start some tours. And the worst case, I think it's gonna be in December. These new concerts, and maybe even earlier. But they are already rehearsing and everything.
Ooh. You heard it here on the Maastricht edition.
Indeed, it's a scoop.
So going forward with the website, Deniz, are there any plans on how you're going to expand this and bring in more partners, maybe?
Yeah, indeed. Actually, during the pandemic, like we were putting the events, but we decided to maybe shift the attention to a little bit to, for example, interview with the artists. And also in that sense, we will work together with Theater Annette Vrijthof. And starting from September, their official season is opening. And we will interview some of their international artists, just show off, to just attract some public attention to the concerts. So that is going to happen. And with Cultura Mosea is also actually one of our partners. They are also very active. And they are organizing these Borrelnoten concerts, these open-air concerts next month in August, next month and in August. Yes. And also they organize some festivals beginning of September. It's called Maas. Maybe you guys heard about it. It's going to be a big festival. And good news, they also included expats in the festival. So we will also have a kind of our own event. I will post you guys about the details.
Please do.
So like lots of things, events are happening, and
brilliant.
And partner-wise, actually, we are fine with the partners. We are also partners with you.
Of course, yes. If anybody wants to check out your calendar on our website, they are more than welcome anytime.
Indeed.
But of course, like us, you also need volunteers to help you keep this together. Are you still recruiting at the moment?
Yeah, actually now the team is about 10 people. Wow. It seems to be sufficient, but when events started, so we will need some more people, And it's always nice. The more the merrier. But last year we were even at certain point like more than 12. So it's like difficult to manage, after a while. So it's better, like we are planning to keep the number 8 to 10. It's like more engaged people and more active people.
Indeed.
Well, now that you mentioned, sorry, Trace.
I was going to say we have a phrase in English that too many cooks spoil the broth. So sometimes it can be better to have a smaller group that's more dedicated, indeed.
Well, I'm thinking now that you've mentioned that there's interviews with possible superstars coming up, that you may get inundated with people saying, "Can I have a job?" So,
be prepared.
So please remind everybody, it's Maastrichter.com.
Yep.
And if people did want to actually post an event on your website. How do they go about it?
Yeah, they can contact with us via the website, or they can send an email to info@maastrichter.nl, or they can send and find us via Facebook, Instagram, and actually lots of people are also contacting in that sense, and we are happy to put the events for sure. That's also one of the ideas, like for the small event organizers to reach larger crowds.
Yeah.
And we also installed our own ticketing system.
Oh,
so
nice.
We sell the tickets directly from the website.
Wow.
So like that function is also like working.
Yeah.
So,
excellent. Oh, well, that makes it a lot easier.
It does. One stop for everything, which is handy, isn't it? And it's a reliable source as well, because this is a reputable team delivering the best of events for the region, and so you're in good hands. It's win-win.
Thank you.
Well, it's been lovely to have you on the show again, Deniz. Looking forward to. Hold on, Tracey's going to show off here. Wait for it.
I've learned a bit of Turkish, especially for this evening, and it's very appropriate for you, Deniz. So I'm going to say, eline, sağlık.
Oh.
I hope that came across correctly.
That's a good sign.
And thank you to Adam for helping me with that. So much obliged.
Tracey, with your Turkish skills.
There you go. I'm thinking it could be something for the autumn that I can start learning a new language. Why not?
Why not? They're good teachers, apparently.
There you go.
Excellent. Deniz,
there we
go.
go.
Pleasure as always. Thank you so much for joining us this evening, and we look forward to seeing you again soon.
Likewise. Have a lovely day.
Take care now. Bye.
Bye. Oh, it's such a nice guest. Oh,
it is
very,
lovely.
very good.
And well done, Tracey. I think
you
pulled it off there.
Well, I think I didn't. It's the phonetic spelling that helps, But very interesting. Yes, it helps a lot. But such passion and such a good team of people there, And we learned about Maastrichter.com kind of when it was in the early stages, and it was almost just an idea. And now look at them go, and so happy for them that life is allowing them to do what they do best once again.
It was such bad timing, wasn't it? It really was. But the fact that they're still here, that's worth something for sure.
Absolutely. So
Tony's in the house. Hello, Tony. He's watching from Spain. Hola.
Hola. Buenas noches.
Oh, she's off. I mean, she's on a roll. She's on a roll.
I'm just, there you go. Just a little bit of high school Spanish that I still remember, but there we are.
Just waiting for somebody French to come on.
Oh, yes.
I'll be all over it.
Let's hope, Joe.
So for those of you who just joined us, apologies that we were a little bit late this evening, and our schedule is all a bit higgledy-piggledy. We're going to crack on with Matt's review. Matt isn't with us this evening. He's got some other stuff going on tonight, so unfortunately he couldn't make the show. However, he did send us a little video of his review of Tracey's album last week. Just remind everybody, Tracey, what it was you wanted to Matt to review.
Yes, I chose an artist from Ireland, which was the first time in a while, and I chose the album Tattoo from the fabulous Rory Gallagher.
So here's Matt and what he had to think about the album.
Good evening, everyone. Sorry I can't be with you tonight. I am getting my corona jab. I might pop in at the end of the show if I make it back in time. But now it's time for my review, so I should tell you a bit about how I felt about the lovely album that Tracey gave me for this week. So there you go. There's a bit of a clue as to what the score is going to be at the end. But yes, Joe, I was in the kitchen cooking while listening to this album because, well, that's what I do every week, and why would I do something different? So yeah, I quite like this album. I've never heard of Rory before, but I thought it was quite an interesting mix of sounds. It was quite bluesy, lots of sort of rocky guitar, and very similar, I suppose, to the Rolling Stones album I was listening to a couple of weeks ago. So yeah, it really sort of fit with the sort of music I like to listen to, and I really quite enjoyed it. It really sounded a lot, well, even though it's from the 70s, it sounded, to me at least, quite modern, so that was quite interesting. And I think I would also listen to this song, well, not this song, this album, or more albums by Rory in the future. So yes, we'll see. So my final score, I decided my final score is actually going to be a 9, but I don't have 2 hands, so I'm gonna have to add up. So there you go. The album for this week gets a 9, and hopefully I will see you later or next week. Bye!
So there you go. That's Matt's little review. That's a good score, Trace.
9 out of 10, darling. Yes, but I mean, of course, this is a fantastic album. Rory Gallagher's Tattoo, and I'm actually not surprised that this got a high score because it's quality stuff. This one.
It is quality stuff, actually, and we already know that he's a secret rock god, our Matt.
Yes, we know he likes a little bit of guitar, so this was definitely one for him. But yeah, I'm really pleased with that. So very nice and happy that he liked the album. But Joe, what did you choose for him for next week?
Well, next week I'm going a little bit different. I'm bringing him to the 90s. Now, as many of you out there will remember, in the 90s, there was a lot of Britpop around, and there was a bit of rivalry going on between Oasis and Blur in the mid-90s. Yeah, very much so, yes. So I decided, actually, I was going to throw a Blur album at Matt, see what he thought. I'm going for The Great Escape. I think it came out in 97, I think it was. But this was around the time when there was the rivalry was quite big, and they were both fighting for the #1 spot. And you were either into Blur or you were either into Oasis.
Ooh,
you know, historically.
Which for you, Joe?
I was a Blur girl. I mean, I do like Oasis very much. I do,
really?
But I was a Blur girl.
And I was more Oasis, to be honest. There were a couple of songs from Blur that I liked, like is it Song 2? I think that was quite a cool one, and Park Life was a good one. But overall, as a body of work, I think I probably preferred Oasis. Master Plan is one of my absolute favourites from Oasis.
Okay.
Anyway, let's see what Matt thinks.
Let's see what Matt thinks. So we shall remind Matt, in case he isn't watching the show, but we'd like to think he is, but in case he's not, we shall give him a prod and tell him to review this particular album, The Great Escape by Blur, for next week. Now, we are running out of time here, unfortunately. We've only got 5 minutes to go. Val's in the house. Hi, Val.
Hi, Val.
He's interested to know whether we are going to be back in the studio or whether we're going to continue with Facebook Live. To be honest with you, the way it's gone this evening, the sooner we're back into the studio, the better, I would say.
Indeed, it's a good question. I think for the moment we're probably committed to staying online for now because things are still a bit uncertain, aren't they?
Yes.
So, but bear with us. Maybe by autumn we might be back together again. You never know.
Yes, we want to be back in the city centre for sure, holding hands and loving each other as we normally do. Peter's in the house. Good evening, Peter. Lovely to have you with us. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to, obviously, we usually would have quite some time for this day in history. We don't have much time for it this week. So I'm just going to give you a couple of highlights of what was happening on this day in history.
Oh, I just had a frog in my throat at the wrong moment. Well done, Joe. You're doing your own intro now.
Yeah, well, time is of the essence. Time is of the essence. So, as I said, I'm just going to give you a few little highlights here. On this day in 1853, US President Franklin Pierce signs the Gadsden Purchase, where he was buying 76,800 square kilometers from Mexico for $10 million. It is now known as Southern Arizona and New Mexico. The first exhibition by Pablo Picasso, aged 19, opened in Paris on this day in 1901. And in 1916, Mary Pickford becomes the first female star to get $1 million contract.
Ooh.
In 1916, can you imagine? That was an awful lot of money.
Back then.
Apparently, 1938, on this day, a 500-ton meteorite lands near Pittsburgh. That must have caused a bit of a stir. And in 1973, Marlene Raymond, aged 15, limboed under a flaming bar at 15 centimetres, Tracey.
Wow, that is impressive.
That is so impressive. because if I got down to 15 centimetres, I wouldn't be getting up for another week, I can tell you. I mean, that's...
Well, don't be practicing that with your
I'm
arm.
not. It wouldn't work with the arm at the moment. And finally, on this day in 2018, women were allowed to drive for the first time in Saudi Arabia after a ban was lifted.
Ah, I remember this. Goodness me. Yeah.
Quick birthdays for you on this day in 1944. Jeff Beck, another guitar legend, was born in 1947. Mick Fleetwood, a drumming legend. 1960. Kurt Smith, the bassist legend.
Oh my God.
we got a super group. 1987, Lionel Messi. You may have heard of him, some Argentinian football player.
Doesn't he? Yeah, he plays footy. Yeah, he's not bad. Yeah.
And finally, a big shout out to Dave Scott, who is celebrating his birthday today, from Bill and Joe. They wish you a happy birthday. And happy birthday to anybody else who's celebrating a birthday today. Hope you're having a lovely day wherever you are and however celebrating it.
Well done, dear.
So there you go. That was the quickest this day in history.
The fast, indeed, yes. So next year on this day, and on this day last year, I did the fastest this day in history. Make a note of it, Joe.
Need to make a note of it for sure. I think that might maybe another T-shirt in there somewhere.
I think you're right.
So have we got a few titty bitties before we close?
We do indeed. Yes, indeed. First of all, a reminder that our partner #Maastricht is also still out there going strong. Check them out. Lots of good information online. We also have Merchandise House of D. We also have Maastrichter.com, Maastrichter Life, and our lovely guest Deniz who we had on this evening. Again, Space and Material. We're based on the St. Jakobstraat. They're up and running again. They're offering some unique workshops and classes taught by local artists and creators from the Maastricht region. More details online. I'll share their contact details after the show, but definitely worth a check. And this Saturday, June 26th, there's a concert in the Lutheran Church in Maastricht, which is appropriately on the Hondstraat, given our chat about evening. It's from the Malkiewicz Ensemble, and they'll be performing a couple of quartets. So the hall and the bar open at 7:30 p.m. You can book your tickets in advance. They're about €13 per person, and do keep in mind that COVID rules apply. So you can check more of that online. So those are a few little suggestions. And of course, just the weather is nice. Restaurants are open. You can eat inside again. So get out there and enjoy.
Yes, and apparently it won't be long before we can whip those masks off.
This Saturday. Actually, for
whether people are going to want to do that, of course, is another matter.
This is the thing, you do kind of get used to it, don't you? And you're kind of thinking, oh God, But as of Saturday, in theory, as long as you're in an open enough space and you can maintain the distance, you don't need to wear your face mask. So let's see how that goes.
But also do remember, if you're crossing over into Belgium or if you're crossing over into Germany, which people do on a regular basis here, some people do it on a daily basis, going to and from work. If you're stopping there, going shopping, going for something to eat or something, they've got other rules going on there. So I would recommend having a look at RTV English News. They're very good at keeping up to date with what is going on, where it's going on, and so on and so forth. So they often have different rules about what kind of mask you're supposed to be wearing as well.
Exactly. Yeah, you need to pay attention because in Germany, even at one point, you had to wear the mask on the street, whereas in Netherlands we didn't have that. So it's good to inform yourself to avoid disappointment or having any hassle if you're crossing the border. So very good advice from our Joe. She's a wise one, our Joe.
I have a lot of time to think at the moment because as I'm not doing much else, I'm just sitting around thinking, coming up with words of wisdom. That's what I do.
Yeah, why not? Go with it, dear. It could be your new thing.
It won't last, I promise you.
No,
it won't last.
But plans for the weekend, dear.
Plans for you're making me think again.
Sorry. No, okay. Let's just move on.
I think we have a guest coming over, if I remember rightly, but I'll have to refer to the diary. But for those of you who are having plans for this weekend, hope you have a lovely time. It looks like the weather's going to be good, so enjoy it. As Tracey says, get out there into the city, enjoy the restaurants, enjoy the bars, and enjoy the shops, because they're open and they need your business. We shall be back next week. Matt will be with us again next week, and we shall see what he has to say about Blur. I can't for the life remember who the guest is, but we'll have another fantastic one. And we hope to be here actually on time. Again, apologies for the technical issues. It's it's the joy of using Facebook Live. We shall be back next Thursday. Have a wonderful week. We'll see you then. Thanks ever so much. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Adios.